Fear and Hunger is known for its difficulty, praised for its unique spin on survival horror via a steep learning curve and cruel punishments. But that's just plain wrong. Fear and Hunger is easy. The only reason the game is difficult is because the characters are stupid. Every time I play this game, I find myself thinking, whoa, these people have no idea what they're doing. If I was there, I would have survived that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look, realistically, at how easy it would be to survive the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. Okay, my first point. You're telling me all 4 of these people decided to go into the dungeons of Fear and Hunger and not a single one of them thought to bring an armed explosive? Like, if I knew I was going to hell itself, I'd at least want a handgun. And before you leave an angry comment about this game taking place in medieval Europe, just keep in mind that the rest of the world is only hinted at, never fully explained. Guns could exist, and until proven otherwise, they are my canon. Schrodinger's world building. But, okay, you know, that's a bit far-fetched, so let's put that aside. The first thing that happens to you in Fear and Hunger is you get ambushed by some wild dogs. The thing about these dogs is they're based on a real breed called the Irish Wolfhound, and these things are huge, by the way. I'm no canine biologist, but I've seen a few dogs in my lifetime, and one thing I know about dogs is they love sticks. All you got to do to get rid of these pups is toss some timber and just strut on by. It's that easy. And trust me, the rest of the dungeon is just as trivial. The next thing you're probably going to encounter is the guards. Okay, look, let's be real for a second. Seeing this in the darkness would make anybody drop a fat shite in their pants. But don't worry, I have the solution for you. Eyes up here. I know damn well you degenerates were busy letting your eyes wander all over his man-meat, but there's nothing down there but blasphemous thoughts. The real weakness is in his eyes. You see, one of his peepers is covered by a tumor? Yikes, bro, you should really see a doctor. Anyway, so the question becomes, can my finger poke his peeper before his cleaver cleaves my clampers? And so long as you don't waste time staring at his 3 legs, you should have plenty of time to blind him. Good luck hitting anything with no eyesight, buddy. After that, you might meet the discount executioner Smo, the Iron Shakespeare. So let's analyse our situation for a second here. Here we have a behemoth in thick armour with ignitable fists. Sounds pretty scary, right? Well, yeah, until you look down. 2 words. Leg day. Look at the size of its body compared to the twigs it's standing on. Just push this tub of tits onto its ass and you're in the green. It doesn't have hands, so I highly doubt it's getting back up. One of the strongest monsters in early Fear and Hunger, and you have just dealt with it in the matter of a few seconds. See, this dungeon ain't shit. Now, after all that fiasco, we can take a well-earned nap. Just kidding, because it's not that easy, it's Crowmauler time! This enemy is arguably the face of Fear and Hunger. His ruthlessness, difficulty, and presence just summarise the game perfectly. But for all his aura, he's nothing. Just a napkin. Take a look at the Crowmauler for a sec, would you? And maybe notice that he has the anatomy of a man? Listen, this is a shot in the dark, but if the Crowmauler happens to own a Coochmauler, then we're in business. All you need to do is swing your hand up its dress and give those almonds a squish. I don't care how strong you are, ball damage is ball damage, and that's enough to cripple any man, even if you are the Crowmauler. Taking a lift down to the cave's lair, you're gonna have an encounter with the cave mother. Okay, come on, you really want me to walk you through the murder of a pregnant mother? I only have 4 videos, I can't get cancelled yet. Just use your imagination for this one. Oh, and by the way, while you're down here, you get brownie points if you put some hands on the Diddy Cat. This guy needs a good ass whipping, and, you know, we're here now, so may as well take advantage of it. Next up is the salmon snake. I'm no marine biologist, but I don't think I'd be too far off in assuming the salmon snake is based on an axolotl. Now, the thing about axolotls is that they can't survive out of water for very long. It depends on their size and how long it takes them to dry out, but sit with a book for a couple of hours and before you know it, the fish out of water should be shriveled like a prune. There are also ghosts down here, but I'm an atheist, so this doesn't apply to me. Moving on, the floor down here is made of bugs. That is disgusting. I wouldn't blame you if you just wanted to turn around and walk away. God knows I would, but, you know, I've got something to prove, so I gotta press on. Do what you gotta do to Lagarde, kill the twink if you want, and let's go into Mahabre. The first thing you're going to do in Mahabre is run straight for Skin Granny. This all takes place in a dream, so it's impossible for you to fail this. Just run at her over and over until you figure something out. The hardest part about this fight is climbing the tower to get there. By this point, you've probably got quite a reputation in the dungeons for being this elusive Grim Reaper figure. Monsters are probably whispering your name in hushed tones, scared that you'll come for them next. But oh no, you're not going for the small prey anymore, you're going straight for the new gods. So, you take a wander down Old Main Street and find yourself at the Torment Temple, or whatever the hell it's called. Your next prey is a skinless BDSM lord. This guy likes pain? Okay, let's give him some pain. Notice how he's all muscles. Yeah, well, I hope you brought your salt and pepper because we're gonna season this raw meat. You think I'm joking? I'm 100% serious. Have you ever got salt in a wound before? That shit stings like the force of 1,000 suns. Now imagine if your entire body was a wound and your opponent just so happened to be carrying a salt shaker. Yeah. We're putting the fear of God into this freako. After your hot and steamy BDSM session, it's time to relax in the library. Let's hope there isn't some omniscient deity lurking in the fiction section. God damn it. You know, I just gave a whole lecture on the dangers of exposed flesh. I hope you have some salt left over because Valtiel is just as vulnerable to it as the Tormented One. Chuck a handful of your sodium on his cranium and pop goes the weasel. We're 2 for 2, but sadly this is where the sodium saga ends. No matter how much salt was tossed at Francois, he's not gonna go down. If you want to kill Francois, you need to challenge his ego. I don't even have a witty solution for this fight. This is a mechanic in game. Just shit talk him until he drops. It's the original rage bait and, you know, it's just as effective then as it is today. So you've made it. The Throne of Ascension, or whatever it's called. But before you can become a new god yourself, you gotta prove yourself by killing a T-Rex. Yeah man, don't question it, just do it. How hard can a T-Rex really be? I've spent many sleepless nights longing to prove myself as a lone gladiator versus an apex predator, and you know what? Give me a bolas and call me David because I will slay that Goliath. I'll even turn it into a nice stew for us all to enjoy around a campfire. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There you go, that's my full tutorial on how anybody could survive the Dungeons of Fear and Hunger in real life. Easy game, easy life. Toodles!